everyone, it's siu-yee. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about some of the foods and ingredients that I used to basically survive quarantine last year with some additional things that I've discovered recently. And honestly, the majority of these foods are non-perishable items, which is great when you're trying to live on a budget and you don't want your food to go bad that easily. I'm also going to mention some of the foods that I used last year in quarantine that I don't actually have here with me that immensely helped me save money and not have to go grocery shopping every week. In fact, I didn't go grocery shopping for 3 months during quarantine, so I was very frugal at that time, but it worked out. So let's start with the carbs and starches that are amazing. They can obviously offer a lot of energy when you eat them. A lot of what I used last year was honestly rice. And here I have a bag of brown rice. It's obviously like the healthier version of rice. It does take longer to cook. I think it's really great to have in your pantry. It lasts a long time and it's so easy to cook, especially if you have a rice cooker or like some sort of pressure cooker like an Instant Pot, which I definitely used a lot last year. Obviously, now that I live with my parents, I don't do a lot of the cooking, but I'm trying to do a little bit more now and I want to go back to my healthier eating methods. So next up are corn tortillas. I hate saying, ¿cómo lo digo? En español. Next up are corn tortillas. There are so many great ways to use these. You can use these for tacos, fajitas. You can make your own homemade tortilla chips. I actually did this last weekend. I took a few of these and I put them into the air fryer, lightly coated them with oil, just very lightly, and some salt, and they came out so good, or they came out so well. They tasted really good, but I think I made them well. So definitely think of getting a bag of these, or if you know how to make them at home, you can do that as well. That can be very time consuming, so if you just buy the bag, it's pretty cheap and it will last you a while if you know how to store it properly. Next up, I want to talk about quinoa. So quinoa is something that I used to hate, and I just like really did not like the smell of it until I added adobo seasoning to it. Or you can put like chicken stock with it when you're cooking it and it actually tastes a lot better. So now I'm a quinoa convert. I know it comes from Ecuador, so it's about time. Like brown rice, this is an even better alternative because it also has some protein in it, and you can use this for a lot of things. Just anything that goes with rice. You can even use this in salads and stuff, and it just comes out amazing. And of course, it lasts for a while as well. Now, my personal favorite, pasta. Obviously, it's not the healthiest if you're gonna eat this every single day for the rest of your life. Sometimes I try to get the veggie or the whole wheat pasta because to me, they don't really taste that bad. But at the same time, I don't really know if they're that much better health-wise. So I would still just eat pasta in moderation. But this is so easy to keep in your pantry and it obviously won't go bad for a while. And it's so easy to cook up when you do have like sauces and something you wanna make with pasta. Next up is muesli. Now, I didn't actually have muesli last year, but I was introduced to it last February when I went on my last vacation pre-panini. The Germans love muesli, and my cousin had some while we were there, and we had some, and it was amazing. It's basically like a super healthy cereal, and it tastes really good. This particular one I got on Amazon with like 4 other bags, I think, and it was like $30. And this is a pretty big bag. Highly recommend, super healthy, and it tastes really good as cereal. Next up, which is actually included in the muesli, are oats. Oats, and I cannot stress this enough, are life. I think everyone should have this in their pantry. They can be used as oatmeal. You can mix it with protein powder. You can add bananas and fruit or whatever, and it'll taste great. Even after you've tasted it for the first time when you were little and it tasted disgusting, and then you never had it for the next few years, you could recover from that. I believe in you. I did. Now I'm a big oat stan, and I have a lot of oats in my house. Well, my parents' house. This is not the only container. Yeah, it's taking a lot of space in the pantry. Sorry, Mom. Besides oatmeal, you can use this for baking, really healthy treats or healthy cookies. You can make oat flour, which then you can use for oat pancakes. And last but not least, you can make your own oat milk. It's honestly super easy. You just take a cup of oats, put it in a blender, and then add 4 cups of water to every cup of oats, depending on how much you want to make. Add vanilla extract, maybe some honey or maple syrup to give it a little bit of more of a sweet flavor. It's so easy to make at home. You really do not need to buy a whole box of Oatly. I'm sorry. You just don't need to do that. Next up are beans, which are also obviously a carb, but they also have a lot of protein in them. I love black beans and kidney beans as well. They're also really good. You can buy them in a can, but I think that you get the most bang for your buck when you get the dry beans, because this looks small, but once you soak them, they really double in size and you get a lot of beans, let me tell you. So then you'll have your nice rice and beans and rice combo, as many of you know, in the debt-free community. It's honestly not that bad. I love rice and beans and rice. You know, I'm Ecuadorian. That's literally what we eat. So that's definitely not a weird thing to me. Next up, we have canned tomatoes. So you can get these for very, very cheap. I try to get the ones that don't have much salt. I don't know which kind this is. This one has basil in it as well, but you can just get plain ones. And I've seen some like these for 84 cents each. So if you see them at that price, just get a bunch of them. Like, just do it. It's not gonna hurt. And you can use that for sauces, for chili. Tomatoes are kind of amazing. Next on the protein side is tofu. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with tofu. I'm kind of experimenting. But I do love using tofu to make kind of like a faux fried chicken and rice. You basically just soak it in like teriyaki sauce or whatever sauce that you want to make it with, and then mix it in with your fried rice and your vegetables, and it just tastes really good. And you can use this in so many different applications. I know people put the silken one in smoothies, and it's honestly so easy. The other day I actually put tofu in tomato sauce that I was making, because my parents also have a lot of tomatoes that are growing in their yard. So I'm trying to eat all of them as fast as possible, and that was a really cool addition to that sauce. Next up, I have canned tuna. I typically just get canned tuna in water, but we already had this here. So I've been kind of using this, not really adding any mayo or anything to decrease the amount of fats that I'm taking in when I eat this. But tuna lasts a long time, and it is an amazing source of protein. So if you like tuna, definitely have this at home, because it's just a great source of protein. And honestly, I love it. I love eating it with rice and with crackers, and it just tastes so good. Like if you have crackers here, put some tuna on it and it tastes amazing. So that's my other thing. Crackers are very, very cheap. You can buy the Essentials saltines as well for like, I think one time I got them 2 for $1, but obviously food prices have gone up. But saltines and some other generic brand crackers should be relatively cheaper than other foods you could get. And if you get some that don't have that much salt on them, that's also pretty good and definitely easy to eat with other combinations of food. More on snacks. I love popcorn. Popcorn is everything to me. I used to be able to eat an entire large popcorn by myself with butter. But then I learned how to make air-popped popcorn without any oil, and it actually was not that bad. Definitely less flavor, but you're not using that many ingredients that could potentially be harmful to your health. It's such a good filling snack, and so rewarding after you hear the popcorn pop for a few minutes that you now have something to snack on. Next up is protein powder, which is definitely gonna fit under the protein part of this video, but it can also be kind of a treat, because a lot of protein powder is flavored. I haven't actually used this one. I did get this at Trader Joe's. I don't typically shop there, so I've never tried this. This one is vanilla, and I did look it up and it had good reviews, so try it at your own risk. I haven't tried it, so I can't really recommend anything, but this is obviously a great way to add protein to your diet that will last a while, and you, again, don't have to go grocery shopping every single week and kind of buy stuff that you see that you didn't really need before you went on the trip, because that's definitely something I have done. You could also obviously get some whey protein. That's also more common. So if you're fine with eating animal products, go ahead and get that. Protein powder is great because you can use it in pancakes, smoothies. I think some people put it in their coffee, which to me is just too much. It's just too much, but you do you. But yeah, I'm really interested in trying this one. And I'm gonna try to make some smoothies with it. Next up, I have almond butter. I actually just tried almond butter for the first time today. this is really good. And the other day I saw Blogilates use some almond butter to make almond milk, and that's definitely on my to-do list now because I told you I like making oat milk, but the way that she made almond milk from almond butter was super easy. You don't even have to strain it. I think this is very good. It's gonna last a while and you can make milk with it. So again, this could work for smoothies, milk, and just toast. You can put it on toast. It's gonna be good. Next up, we have our baking needs. I do love to bake. I loved baking bread in quarantine. Yes, I was one of those people. No, I was not one of those people who made sourdough because I don't like sourdough. But maybe that'll change. Maybe I will go through my sourdough era soon. So flour, you can get whatever flour you want. Whether you like whole wheat, semolina, what is it, 00 flour, and I don't know, bleached. I don't know what that means. But what does it mean? But flour is great because you can make so many different things. Pancakes. I keep saying pancakes. I think I just want pancakes. You can make cake, you can make cookies, you can bake bread. What else can you make with flour? You can make pizza. You can make a roux with flour. Everyone should have this in their pantry. If you don't, just go get some flour. Next up, we have some brown sugar. You never know when you may need brown sugar. Obviously, you should also have regular sugar, but sometimes when you're in the mood to have some tasty treat, they require brown sugar, and when you don't have it, it's just heartbreaking. So you should just always have it. And make sure that you know how to store it correctly, because this one, oh, I'm not even storing it correctly right now, LOL. This terracotta thing should be in there. Well, you should put it in water. I think it's warm water for 15 minutes, and then you put it in the sugar after it dries so that it keeps it fresh. Next up is Crisco. This is also, I think, vegan, although I've heard negative things about palm oil, and this includes palm oil, so I don't know. But this is shortening, and you can use this to make biscuits so easily. I think that video is still up on my channel if you want to go see it. It is cringy because I made it a year ago, and yeah, it's just cringy. That's all I'm gonna say. But shortening is amazing. I discovered it last year, and I loved making biscuits with it. You can also make empanadas with it, but have you made it with empanada? Or butter? ¿Con qué haces empanadas? Pero tú no las has hecho con esto. Oh, okay. You can make empanadas with this. I'm about to find out. Okay. Shortening is really good. This lasts forever, basically, and you can see that a lot comes in. Although this was kind of expensive. This was like $16, but there's a lot of shortening in here. Next up, we have imitation vanilla extract because your girl is broke. Obviously, baking, milk, pancakes, whatever. Have this in your pantry. And if you are gonna bake any bread or anything that requires a lot of rising, you need yeast. It just helps a lot when you're bread making. So have this. It does expire relatively quickly. This is expired. It does expire, so just watch out for the expiration dates when you are buying it, because then your yeast won't activate, and that's sad. That will be sad. Next up, I also have some caramels and chocolate because you just need to have some sweets sometimes. You can even use these as toppings. If you have just a plain chocolate bar, you can use that for your chocolate chip cookies that you're making. Or I think you can make chocolate sauces, which sounds really good. I personally haven't tried it, but you can use it for regular cooking as well. If you just want a nice little treat, just get a snack that'll last you a while, that you won't necessarily overindulge in, that'll bring you joy. Next up, I have avocado oil, olive oil, vinegars, baking powder, and baking soda. So I truly lived on all of these ingredients and more. More being frozen vegetables and frozen fruits. Oh, and potatoes. We cannot forget potatoes. I don't have any here, but they are amazing, but they do go bad. I have had firsthand experience of what happens when potatoes go bad. It's not pretty. It doesn't smell good. I would not wish it upon anyone. I'm just having flashbacks now. And when I grabbed the potatoes, something wet touched me. If anyone has any tips on how to get this disgusting smell out of my cabinet, please let me know. Frozen fruits and frozen veggies are all really good. They're actually not that bad. Maybe some people think they're bad if you don't just buy the fresh thing, but they stay in your freezer and they last so long, and they're great for smoothies. Even to make soups and like creams of soup that you can just blend with an immersion blender or a normal blender that you have. that definitely adds a whole lot of nutrition to your dish, and it just lasts a while. So these are all the foods that I basically lived on for 3 months, and maybe I'm tired of them. Oh, matcha. Matcha's great. You can have this with almond milk, and you can make a quick little matcha latte along with just green tea if you like tea. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more related content. That was a lot. ¿Estaba bien? No creo que estaba bien. I have to edit it a lot.